Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator with the Rune Man. We are in San Francisco, and I'm going to try to get into Oregon today. We'll see. I think I can do it. I thought it was going to be a little bit farther than it is, but I think I'll be able to do it. So we're heading for Medford, which is just off the border between California and Oregon, on the Oregon side, obviously. And so anyway, I'm going to try today to put a regular flight plan in. I got a flight plan from SimBrief, and I'm going to try to put it in just to see, because I haven't done that with this plane yet. I'm going to see how difficult it is to do one of those. I know it's not difficult. What I meant was I've not had to do it on the GPS for this plane yet. So let's get the power on it at a minimum. So first of all, I have fueled the plane. That's all been done. So we're gonna jump down and make sure we've got some fuel on, and then we're gonna go through the routine here of putting on our taxi lights and our beacons. Put our batteries on the main, and we're going to put this up to auto. Click on that, turn the autopilot on, get that, and we're all ready to go. So let's get the starter button going. Is it raining? Did I see a raindrop on the plane? Well, I'm not sure. Let's go in. Take a look. Maybe not. Maybe not. It looks kind of nasty out there, though. I'm surprised. So, all right, let's go to the Garmin and turn it on. And then we're going to go down to the navigation, and we're going to go here. We're going to select map and set that to there. Okay, it changed my mind on the flight plan. When I went to put it in, it's pretty much a straight line. So I'm just putting in San Francisco to Medford, because it's basically what it is. The only difference is that San Francisco gave me a runway to start off on. That's the only difference. So we're just going to go with that today, and I'll mess with the GPS some other time. So let's run her up to 6,000. To start with. I may have to climb a little bit after we get to 6,000, only because of the weather. There may be some clouds up there I need to get above. So put our flight director on, and we're about ready to go. I need to check the barometer. Let's do that. So we got a barometer of 29.92, which is standard. Let's hit barometer, and it only changed it by 2. Not 29.94, and we need to turn on our lights here. We need to turn on the bleed. Okay, and then let's go down and put our flaps to take off. And I think we're ready. So let's see if we can find our runway. 28 left. Okay, so we need to go up here, take a left and then a right. Got it. All right. Break off. Come on, guys. Watch where you're going. All right, there's a jet taking off. So it's around noonish. I think it's just before noon, time-wise. And I do have live weather on. Now, we were talking in the last leg about strobe lights. You notice that the takeoff lights are blinking, and it mentioned that it's a good thing to have them when you cross a runway, which is what we're doing right now. And it looks like we're about to cross another one. Should be looking. Making sure there's nobody taking off or landing on me. That'd be a thing, wouldn't it? We should probably go in here where I can easily do something like this and we can look. That would be best, eh? Whoops. Get back on the road. So my wife was kind enough to bring me a hot cup of tea. Wasn't that nice? So I won't have to get up in the middle of the flight. Okay, and I'm not, yeah, I took my hands off the controls here so I could mess with my tea. Sorry about that. Let me sit up where I can see the runway a little bit better. Kind of a strange little leg in the route here. Wow, we've got some clouds. I'm going to have to raise up, and hopefully it's not like this to the rest of California, because maybe it's just San Francisco. San Francisco is known for fog, so this may be only in San Francisco, but we'll see when we get up in the air. If I have to stay above a cloud bank, I might want to do something about that, because we're on a tour. I want to be able to see something. And we've got a little bit of a wind because I'm having to crank the throttle around. Yeah, look, it's windy. Look how windy it is. Those things are straight out. So we're going to be fighting a wind one way or another. At least it shouldn't be a crosswind. We're going to be flying into the wind, but it didn't look like it was a crosswind for me, because it looked like it's coming in the direction that I'm getting ready to take off in. But look, those things are not wavering. They're just straight out. Now, the good news about that is we should have plenty of lift to get off the ground. All right, set a parking brake here. Let me go inside. I want to double check everything. So, all right, we got our switches going here. Now, it shouldn't be cold. I shouldn't be worried about ice or anything like that. We can turn this off here. Yeah, shouldn't have to be worried about that. Okay. All right. Let's go down above, I should say. I noticed that it turned it over to the left tank. I don't think that makes any difference. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I don't know if the wind's... There might be a little bit of a crosswind because I've got it clear to the right, trying to hold it on the center line. So the wind is blowing across me just a little bit. Okay, positive. All right. So we're up. Let's come around because we need to be going this direction. Let's get the gear up. Put the flaps up. And let's set the climb. Take a look around. Wave goodbye to San Francisco. There's the airport behind us. And we're slowly climbing. We're at 2,000 feet. A little bit of a hill there, but it's not in our way. And it looks like it's clearing out. So again, it's just San Francisco being foggy. That's what it's known for. So we should be fine. There's Brisbane. Set my flight timer. I'm a little late on that. I should have set it down on the runway. Bayview District. So we got another little harbor kind of a place down here. So we're going to fly through Northern California and head for Oregon. And then from Oregon, it should be just one more leg then. So in the next leg, we should be heading home. And I'm trying to decide whether to fly to the big city or to actually fly home. And I'm thinking about just flying home to the coast. Now, what is that over there? What is that? Some kind of tower. It looks like Mordor. I was looking for a red fiery eyeball. There's the Bay Bridge, so that's the bridge across to Oakland, I guess. Maybe. There's the Transamerica building. Oh, this is cool. Is that Alcatraz out there or no? Yeah, what is that out there? Which one is Alcatraz? That one or this one? I've been to San Francisco, a half a dozen times. Transcontinental Building. Yeah, what is that? Is that Alcatraz? It doesn't look like it. I don't know what Alcatraz looks like, but or is that it over there? Or am I even completely way off? Maybe Alcatraz is out the other way, but Commodore Center. I may be way off. I don't know. Because that looks industrial down below us. But then I don't know what they do with it now. But now that can't be it. Because Alcatraz is a complete island. There's no driving over to it. You have to take a boat over there. So that might be it. But that I don't see any buildings there. I may be completely off. Yeah, I may have got turned around. North Richmond, California. All right, so let's look at this. As I said, I went to put in a route, and it's just straight as an arrow. There wasn't any reason to put in an actual route. I just put a from and a to and get there. We're looking at 286 miles, which isn't that bad. I didn't realize that it was only a couple hundred miles to the border. So let me turn off yesterday's trip. There's yesterday's trip right here, the dotted line that we had from LA to San Francisco. So I'm going to take that out right there. And we'll just have today's route. Pretty much a straight line. It's pretty, isn't it? Too bad it's California. All right, I got a problem, and I just noticed. I should be instead of rubbernecking up here, I should be watching my instrument panel because I'm overheating. So let me pull back on the throttle. Okay. We should be okay there. And we're about 228 miles an hour. There's Nos. That's a weird name for a town. Where do you live? Nos, California. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I would think the G's silent, or it's Ganache, and that sounds worse. There's Sonoma Valley. When I used to drive down to LA, seeing Valley kind of triggered something, triggered a memory. When I used to live down in, drive down into Los Angeles, the parents of the friend of mine that owned the trucks that we were driving lived in Simi Valley. And so when we got to LA, if we needed to wait for a load back or anything, or if we needed a shower or a quick meal, we would, you have to drop your trailers because they need to load them. So after you drop your load, you drive to this warehouse district and you drop your trailers off, and they have a bunch of products that come into this warehouse district, and as they come in, they start loading trucks. And what they're doing is they're saying, okay, these 2 trailers are going back to Portland, Oregon. What have we got that's going to that area? And they start putting stuff on. And it's called less than full load. So TFL or something like that, it's less than full load is what that's called. And our trailers would just fill them until they're full. And basically what that means is we don't have enough of one thing to fill that trailer. So we don't have enough of carpet to fill a whole trailer. So it's all things that they don't have enough, to fill a trailer of. So it could be when you're ready to take off that your trailer holds many, many different things. It might hold a couple of microwaves, a couple of kitchen ranges, some carpet, table lamps. You never know. And it's kind of interesting. It was actually kind of nice because the trailers were sealed and we had no idea what was in them. We had the paperwork for that, the seal and everything, the numbers, but we had no way of knowing what was in the trailers. And you just drop your trailers off, you sit there and sleep if you need to, have a meal if you got one, and you just wait until they call you on the radio. They would call you on your CB and say your load is ready. And so we would just sit and wait. Well, sometimes it was a couple hours, sometimes it was 6-7 hours. We just didn't know. It's just what they have coming in to fill your trailer. And if there's not a lot of stuff going to Portland, it may take a few hours to get enough to load your trailers. So it was kind of a weird situation. And so we would usually drop the trailers, depending on what time of day it was, and run to Simi Valley with just the cab, just the tractor, and park it in their driveway and go in, have a shower, watch a little TV, that kind of thing. And then after a few hours went by, we'd jump in our truck and head back to the yard, waiting for our trailers to be full. Generally, it was later in the evening before you got enough to fill your trailers. Hurry up and wait. Graywood Ranch. If it's Graywood, wouldn't it be Deadwood? You should call it Deadwood. That'd be cooler. Of course, it's California. Maybe if it was Arizona or New Mexico or even Nevada, you could call it Deadwood. California, doesn't sound Valley Girl. There's Oakville. I suppose if you're in California, you'd say it's like Graywood. Rutherford. Again, California's got a lot of farms like every other state. I don't think I don't think there's very many states that doesn't have some form of agriculture on it. We've got a problem right now. My wife, for the last week and a half, has been running around looking for eggs. We can't find eggs to buy. We do a lot of shopping at Costco. They don't have any eggs. St. Helena, there's a St. Helens, a little town in Oregon, but that's St. Helena. But yeah, we can't find eggs. We went to Fred Meyer's, they didn't have any eggs. Finally, she got to Safeway and they had some eggs. But we're having trouble finding eggs and some other farm items. There's Deer Park. There's a deer park in Spokane, Washington area. Pope Valley, must be a Catholic valley. Can't quite see that one to make it out. Angwin? Is that what that is? Angwin? Angwin Parrot Field. So with all the hills up here, we got a lot of valleys in California. There's the hills kind of run in strips there, and there's valleys in between the hills. So there's a lot of valleys up here. They're all full of girls. Valley girls. Get it? Yeah, I know it's not funny. That's not funny. Yeah, I'm not worried if it's funny. I'm just trying to stay entertained. Trying to entertain myself while I'm up here. I haven't had a chance to do any extraneous flying in the last few days. So I've been meaning to get in that jet that I've been talking about, but I just haven't had the time. Still waiting for news on my new PC. Nothing new yet. The next thing I'm guessing to see on it is that it's been shipped. And then the work starts. Oh, God, I'm not looking forward to it. Or even once I get it, I'm going to have to put games on it. And if it's a game I'm in the middle of playing, what do I do then? I can probably copy over a save game, but I don't know. There's a couple of games I've been meaning to play that I haven't started yet, just because I'm waiting for the PC. All right, let's go in and check. See how things are going. All right, everything's looking good. The gauges are good. No trouble there. We have 223 nautical miles left to drive. Or flying, depending on how you look at it, I guess. And estimated time of 55 minutes. Now I put this on show the map here. Show it on the map. Show the route on the map. But I wonder what else I can change on here. Map settings. We can put traffic on there. We can put a weather radar up. You can split this. You can split the screen like that. And then you can change one of these to be something other than what you're looking at there. Like I could put something on one side, something on the other, like it was. The radar here on one side and something else on the other. I don't know. I kind of like just to see a bigger version of what we're looking at. Let's see what they got for terrain. We got absolute or relative. What's the difference? Oh, What is that showing me? A lot of darkness. A whole lot of darkness. What if I turn it off? Huh. I think I like that better because this is showing me there's a hill and there's a hill. So it's showing me the terrain, the absolute map sync, heading up, traffic. I don't see that the traffic did anything, really. Showing that on there. Connect radar. What did that do? Did that do anything? There's also got to be a way that you can change the distance that you're able to see. Like if I put it to show the whole damn thing. Operate relative traffic display. Absolute standby. Motion vector. Yeah. I'll play with that later. Oh, shoot. I'm glad there wasn't any mountain in front of me. I'm still okay, but we are getting into Northern California, where there are mountains. So I'm going to have to be careful. Clear Lake Airport. There must be a lake over there. I think I see it right there, Clear Lake. There's a lot of names like that. Can you imagine? Look how big the states are and how many towns and things, how many landmarks, how many lakes, how many rivers, and you have to name them all. And like I said, it's kind of funny. Almost every state has a seaside in it, or some name that's like that. Lake View, Lake Valley, Clear Lake. You know, there's how many Portlands there are in the United States. And of course, each state thinks that their Portland is the best one or the only one. There's Portland, Maine, Portland, Oregon. I've seen others in other states as well. These are kind of pretty hills. I mean, this one's got a lot of trees on it. This one looks like sagebrush over here with a few trees scattered about. And here's another lake. I wonder which lake this is. This is not a lake. This is a reservoir. That over there is a lake. There. This is a reservoir. It's called Indian Reservoir. What's the difference? Well, I don't know how this one gets its water. Usually a lake gets its water from runoff and rivers and things like that. A reservoir kind of puts to mind that it wasn't there before. Like somebody dug a hole and put water on it to hold it for irrigation purposes. In other words, it's a water reserve. But if you look at the map, it is being fed. I mean, you got a little bit of a river coming out on the end here. Up there, you got water running off from the hills coming down. In a couple of places, every place there's a valley there, And then right there's a pretty good size one here that goes up into here. Very, very interesting. How many millions of years it took for water and rain and wind to sculpt these hills and stuff. Maxwell Airport. Maxwell Smart. Missed it by that much. I love that show. I used to like the little car he drove. I don't even know what it was. I didn't pay attention. There's a little red sports car that he drove, a little convertible. I have no idea what it was. I know it wasn't an MG. Could be a Fiat. I never paid attention because I wasn't really, into cars at that point. And I don't know if it's even an American-made car. It might have been an English car or a French car. I don't know. I should look it up. Give me something to do. I'm gonna Google Maxwell Smart's car and see what comes up. It's a Sunbeam. Okay, that makes sense. I remember Sunbeams. Smart's Sunbeam. A behind-the-scenes look at the iconic car that stars in the new Get Smart movie. Wow, the new Get Smart movie? How old was that? Holy smokes. I mean, the show was from the 60s. Lodega. We got a little bitty town over here. Isn't it cute? Little California town. Cute as hell. All right, let's... I don't particularly like to go to... Sorry, I had a brain fart there. I don't particularly like to go to Wikipedia. I generally don't. And I know that a lot of people tell me, well, Wikipedia is actually pretty good. I know, but I don't like the fact that anybody can make changes on it. Because you can say anything you want. It doesn't have to be proven true. But hey, if it's good enough for, the media to not have the truth on, I guess it's good enough for Wikipedia. Stonyford. Where would a name like that come from, I wonder? He had different cars. Now this is interesting. The first car that Maxwell Smart had in Get Smart in the first season, the very first episode, is a Ferrari 250 Cabriolet. Interesting. And then it says from 65 to 69, seasons 1 and 2, 3 and 4, Max drives a red open-top Sunbeam Tiger. Yeah, and it was kind of a spoof of James Bond, of course. There's Diamond M Ranch. Now, who ranches diamonds? Come on. It's going to be a cattle ranch. Kind of like bighorn sheep cattle ranchers. I guess it wouldn't be a cattle ranch if it was sheep, would it? All right, so there were a number of things that they put on the little car. At one point, it had a car phone, a phone cigarette lighter, a cigarette lighter phone. Wouldn't that be the same thing? A phone cigarette lighter and a cigarette lighter phone? Why would they list it twice like that? That's kind of redundant, isn't it? A steering wheel phone, an exhaust pipe machine gun, poisonous gas from the radiator, a cigarette lighter hand grenade, explosive detonated by gas pedal. Now, I remember that one. There was an explosive in the car that was detonated with the gas pedal. And in one episode, he takes the car in to have it serviced. And he forgets to tell the guy not to mess with the gas pedal. And the guy's working on it actually blows the damn car up. And so in the show, I mean, they actually did blow a car up, so they had to get another to replace it. So they had more than one of the cars, obviously. Kind of like Dukes of Hazzard. I don't remember. I've been told a couple times, but they never have an exact amount because everybody has a different number of how many cars Dukes of Hazzards had. He had an oil slick from the tailpipe, a smoke screen from the front or rear, radar antenna and screen, a high-velocity 50 caliber machine gun under the hood. My God, a car that small with a 50 cal? Come on. A passenger side ejector seat. They had to have that. James Bond had that. In 1967, Maxwell acquires a blue Volkswagen Carmen Ghia, although he's only seen driving it once in the opening credits. And then in 69, season 5, Max switches to a gold Opel GT. Now that's, I see that, I remember that at one point he had a gold car. Okay, evidently at one point in the show, the chief, his boss, gets kidnapped, and Max wins a car, his car. And the chief was driving a 1965 Ford Mustang Zebra. Really? A Mustang Zebra? I don't remember a Mustang Zebra. I remember a Mustang Cobra and a Mustang Boss. What other Mustang was there? Anyway, I don't remember a Mustang Zebra. All right, that was fun enough, I guess. So, we got a valley to the right here and a lot of hills to the left. Where are we at? I would have had to come up if I'd have been over to the left. I'm just kind of missing it, aren't I? All right, let's take a look, see what we're doing here. We have... What are we doing in speed? 229, 228. That's pretty good. Gotta make sure I don't run into a hill. All right, we've got 157 miles left to go. Estimated time of 38 minutes. Coming right along. remember I said I wasn't sure what size of an airport was in Medford, Oregon. When I pulled it up to start a flight plan, I noticed that there's one of them has a glide slope, so it means it's got instruments. So it's a little, fancier than just a farmer's airstrip. I'm looking for something. We just flew over something that looked like a railway or something. I wonder if that's it right there. On the map, it looks like some kind of a railroad system going up into those hills. Maybe, maybe not. They sure look like it on the map, though. It's a bird, it's a plane. It's Superior Man. I should check in on the co-pilot. See how she's doing. Well, they look like they're comfortable. Good job, guys. This is a nice plane. I like this plane. Look, a river ran through it. I didn't like that movie. It was so boring. It was really a boring movie. The only person I remember being in it is oh hell, now my mind just went completely hooey there. Oh, Brad Armpit was in it. If I remember right. Let's take a look. Yeah, I was right. It's got Brad Armpit in it. And who else? Robert Redford was the director. It's got Captain Pike in it. Tom Skerritt was in it. He played Captain Pike in the renewed Star Trek movies. And there's some guy named Craig Sheffer. I've never heard of him before. I think he was the other brother. Never heard of him. You know how people are people, you know what I mean? There are people that anybody, let's take anybody, me, you, the neighbor down the street. Let's say they get a new job and there's 50 employees at this job, and they may have to work with 20 or 30 of them directly. And of those people, there's going to be somebody that when you look at them and meet them for the very first time, you do not like them. It's human nature. Now, should we be that way? No, we shouldn't. We should not, prejudge anybody or be hateful in any way. You really shouldn't. I try not to be, but I'm human like everybody else. And I think what I'm trying to say is there's no reason. You don't have any reason because you don't know this person.
there's no reason for you to not like this person, but you do. What is that? I mean, do they have a pheromone that they're putting off that just wrinkles your nose, or what is it? Because it is true. It is something that happens to everybody. There's always somebody that just rubs you the wrong way for whatever reason. And I'm saying this because when I watch movies and TV shows and stuff, there are actors that for some reason I just don't care for. And Brad Pitt is one of them. I've never really ever seen a movie that I liked him in, for one thing. And I don't know what it is about him. But his buddy is also on that list for me. What the hell's his name? Oh, he played one of the Batman. George Clooney. I just never cared for George Clooney. I don't like the way he acts as an actor. He acts the same way in every movie, but then there's a lot of actors that do that. I mean, John Wayne was playing John Wayne. The Rock is always playing Dwayne Johnson. It's just... I'm always impressed with an actor that can play a part where you have to second guess who they are. And I have seen actors do that have been able to play a part and you don't know who they are. And then you say, that voice sounds familiar. And then you realize it's somebody you know that's acting completely different than the last thing you saw them in. But then there's a whole lot of them that just are playing themselves. I mean, the guy that plays Captain America, same thing. He just plays himself in every movie. And, as funny as Ryan Reynolds is, he plays the same part all the time. He's just playing Ryan Reynolds all the time. The only bad thing about that is if they become very popular, you get tired of them after a while. Like Jim Carrey. I thought Jim Carrey was just hilarious about the first or second time I saw him. But after the 100th movie, he's just this crazy. He's just nuts. He plays that part every time. It's old. Things can be overdone in movies and TV. Don't you think it's funny that every time a new movie comes out, there's another one just like it at the same time, competing with the audience, I guess. I mean, take Tombstone. Tombstone came out, and so did Wyatt Earp. And basically, it was telling the same story. One was Kurt Russell and his gang, and another one was what's the guy's name that plays in Yellowstone? Dang it, can't remember. Oh God, I can't remember. Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner had Wyatt Earp, and they both came out at the same time, competing with each other, basically. Now, Kevin Costner is another actor that, in my opinion, can't act. Now, that doesn't mean that I haven't enjoyed most of his movies. I have, and in actuality, he's gotten better over the years. As he gets older, he's a little better actor. But I remember watching him in some of his early movies that were really, really popular movies. And I would tell Carol, I said, rewind that and watch it again and imagine that there's a teleprompter in front of him with the lines on it. And she did, because I said something about I didn't think he was a good actor. And it wasn't until I told her to do that she says, oh my God, it's almost like he's reading something. I said, that's what I'm trying to say. He's not acting. He's just reading the part. And was he really actually reading the part? I don't know. but that's what it sounded like. I'm going to have to climb here, or I'm going to be in trouble. Let's come up a little bit. There is an actor that actually did that. Let's see. We do it a little VS and a little up here. Okay, here we go. There's actually pictures to prove it from behind the scenes of The Godfather. Marlon Brando refused to learn his lines and didn't want to rehearse. I guess he was notorious for it. And there are actual pictures, you can find them on the internet, actual pictures behind the scenes of a couple of actors, Al Pacino and what was the other guy's name that played one of the brothers? They were, but it doesn't matter. He's a well-known actor now, and but they had cardboard sheets of cardboard taped to their chest, and they were standing in front of Brando, and the cardboard had Brando's lines for each one of them written on it, and that's how he was acting. He was reading lines off of these boards that were taped to the bodies of the actors that he was acting with, and they could get away with it because the actors he was acting with, they were filming their faces as they were face to face talking with their father, the Godfather. So they weren't filming their bodies. And so the bodies had these words written. It's just hilarious to see. It really is. All right, let's see what we got here. We're looking at 107 nautical miles to go, about 32 minutes of flight time. We've been up in the air about 44 minutes. And I don't know if it's just me, but it looks kind of hazy out, does it? Or is it just me? Pool, Weaverville. Weaver. I don't know what it is, but there's just something interesting about looking out the window and seeing the wing of a plane. It just seems, I don't know, kind of cool to be looking out the window. I wonder what's that thing on the wing that looks like a tube in front of it? I wonder what that is. I might have to look that up. Let's look it up. Google everything. We're going to Google it. What is the black pod on the left wing of a TBM? Well, let's find out. Oh, it's a weather radar. It's a GWX-70 color weather radar antenna. One guy says, I wish I could afford that on my plane. I bet he's got a milkshake melter in there too. That's pretty funny. some other Cessna planes have the same kind of a setup, only they hang from the lower part of the wing that look like a bomb hanging there, ready to be released. Trinity Center. Oh, there's water up here. Look at this. Nice forest area. I remember in the last leg I was talking about Northern California having a lot of recreational area, hills and mountains and forests, and we even got a little bit of snow in the peaks up here. Man, it's raining like crazy outside today. I'm hiding in my studio today. My sister's here, and her son came to visit this weekend and got sick after he got here, and he's sicker than hell. And I said, oh God, keep him away from me, please. So I've been hiding in my room with the door shut all day. And that's why my wife was kind enough to bring me a cup of tea. I'm quarantining myself. There's a type of flu going around that people are getting hit with, and they're sick for 3 and 4 weeks. And I thought, oh my God, I can't do that. I can't. So we're getting close to Oregon and Washington. Look at the mountains. Look, we got a mountain right there. There's another one in the clouds. That, I'm not sure which mountain that is. That might be, I think this mountain might be Mount Bachelor. I'm trying to think of which one you could see from the California coast. Oh, wait a minute. We're still in California. That might be Mount Shasta. That might be in California. Let me see where we're at. Trinity, yeah, we're still in California, but I don't know if that mountain is, but it might be. That might be Shasta. Let me see here. And that might be, it's about where Mount Shasta would be, because we still got 100 miles to go into Oregon. And you come over Mount Shasta just before, you peak at Mount Shasta just before you come down into Medford into Oregon. I can remember many nights on Mount Shasta where my truck would be slipping, and I'd have to stop and put chains on to get just to the peak of that mountain on I-5, only to stop and have to take the chains off again to go down into Medford. There was one time I had to put chains on just to go like a mile to get over the crest of that mountain. It was so icy. And oh, what a miserable night. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm laying underneath my truck, and my truck had slid over to the right, almost into the side of the hill. Didn't quite leave the road, but I was on the edge of the road, the gravel area. And other trucks that had better traction than me were still trying to get around, and they were sliding. And the road was banked towards the hill. And so here I am laying under a truck trying to put chains on, with these other trucks sliding towards me, and I'm scared to death I'm going to get run over or smashed up against a mountain. And I'm just soaking wet, freezing friggin' cold after getting these chains on. to get in the truck, drive a quarter of a mile or a half mile to the top of the hill, and then coast down into Medford and, you know, not need the chains anymore. It was just, oh, what a miserable night. I'm thinking, laying under that truck, the thing I was thinking of, man, if I was home right now, I'd be in my bed sleeping, waiting to get up and go flip hamburgers at McDonald's, and that would be better than what I'm doing right now. I'd rather be flipping hamburgers or anything, digging ditches, anything, than being underneath this freezing, friggin' cold, wet truck. And it's hard work, too. You know, I was never a very large man. I'm only 5'7". Well, at one point I was 5'7" and a half. Or 5'8". 5'8". But those chains are heavy. I mean, you're talking, you know, having to put them over dualies. You know, there's the drive wheels. There's 2 axles with 2 tires on each axle. So there's 4 tires you got to put these chains around on each side of the truck, and they're heavy. And it's icy and snowy and cold and dark, very dark. What a terrible job. I didn't complain about the driving. The driving was fine. It was just having to do stuff like that once in a while. There's some water right there, a little bit of water right there, some snow. Look at that. Some nasty mountain peaks here. And we're going to get over them just fine. Yeah, that's got to be Shasta because we're still in California. That's what I think, and I'm going to stick to it. Yeah, I'm looking at the highway. I-5 runs to the left of that peak right there. And there's a town called Dunsmuir. Yeah, we're to the left of Weed. I've been to Weed. Weed is on I-5. So I-5 is just to the right of us. There's a little town called Weed over there. I've drove through that before. Montague, the Siskiyou County airfield is over there. We're getting ready to come across the Scott Valley. There's a Scott Valley over here, this valley. Right cheer. Scott Valley says so right there. That's the airstrip. So we're getting close to the border. We flew over Eureka, and I didn't even know it because we weren't right over Eureka. It was over on this side of the plane when we flew over it. Or is it Eureka or Wairika? I think it's Wairika. I was thinking of the TV show. Know what I mean? All right, so we're getting pretty close. We've only got 54 miles to go, and we've been in the air for 57 minutes, almost an hour. We got 13 minutes. We're going to be flying over a little town called Ashland, which is right on the border between, it's on the Oregon side, but it's on the border between Oregon and California. And Ashland is known for its Shakespearean events. They do a Shakespeare in the Park type thing. It's a theater in the round. It's an outdoor theater that they have during the summer. I've never been to it, but it's pretty popular. Sounds windy up here. I can hear up here. That's a pretty valley down there, isn't it? That Scott Valley. Isn't it pretty? Got a little snow on the left. Probably got, they probably have water runoff because it looks pretty green down there, doesn't it? There must be a lot of water runoff from that snow. Good irrigation water. Snow runoff. Can't beat it. It's going to be an interesting landing. I don't know where I'm going. So, well, I mean, I know I'm going to Medford, but I don't really know much about the airport. And I'm not quite sure in which direction the runway is. Let me see if I can take a look here. Medford. Okay, we're going to be coming. If you look at my plane's orientation here, the runway is going to be heading across the nose about at this angle right here. So we should be able to get up there and just come to the right a little bit and then right in. Now it does have a glide slope, but the glide slope is coming from the other direction, which means that technically I should probably be I should be going around to the north and coming back down to the south to actually land. I'm not gonna, because this isn't real life. I'm just gonna land. Ashland has a little airfield. Let's see what it's all about. I'd be afraid of it because it's in the mountains. At least Medford's down in the town. Ashland, it's at 1,800 feet. Oh, it reminds me of the barometer. It's hard and lit. It's got lights, and it's 3,597. So that's a pretty nice runway. But like I said, that Shakespeare thing is pretty popular. I would guess there's a lot of people fly into it. So let me check my barometer. Let's go inside and let's hit the barometer. We're at 29.94 barometer right here. And it changed a little bit. You notice it changed me about 20 feet or so. And we're still in mountains. I can't come down. I was thinking about coming down in preparation of being there, but we're not there yet. And I can't come down. I got to get over these mountains. There's Round Mountain. That's an airstrip on the side of a mountain. That sounds scary. I'm afeared. Round the mountain. Somebody blocking my mailbox. It's a Sunday. It can't be a mailman. And they're getting out. Huh. Okay, what are we looking at? 29 miles. We're getting close. 7 minutes, we'll be there. I'm enjoying the fact that this plane flies at 225 miles an hour. It's shortened the trip up quite a little bit. Okay, we're at 10,000 feet. I think once I get over this snowy peak right here, I can start to come down a little bit. I could actually come down a little bit now because we're pretty high. But I want to get over that high point first. So Northern California is pretty mountainous, isn't it? It looks more like Washington, Oregon to me. So we are just a couple of miles from the border. The Oregon border is right on this hill peak, I think, right here, this mountain peak. Once we get over this mountain peak, it's going to drop down. So I'll tell you when we're in, let's see, we just, Round Mountain that we just passed is in California. It's and then we're crossing the border right here in the middle of this hilly area right here is the border between California and Oregon. So we are currently in Oregon right about here. And so you can see there's a valley up ahead here. Once we get over this set of hills, we should be able to come down. My top of descent is in 6 miles. So your top of descent is usually where you come down. And the interesting thing is, I'm only 20 miles from the airport. So if I'm having to come down in 6.5 miles, I don't have that. We only got about 12 miles to go after that. So I'll wait till I hit my top of descent maybe and then come down. It's not like I'm in a jet airline. Jet airline, you don't come down, within a few miles. You gotta come down and have enough room to do it. The passengers don't like it when you nosedive. So yeah, we're in Oregon. To the left of us, towards the ocean, is Brookings, Oregon, right on the coast. We got Ashland. Ashland is right over here on the right. That's probably its airport right there. Or there, someplace in here is Ashland. That's the town I told you about that has the Shakespearean plays and stuff. And we're going to meet up with I-5. I-5 is going to come across our bow here just before we get to the airport. So that's I-5, I'm guessing right there, because it's coming towards us. So I'm guessing that I-5's coming out of this valley right here and going to cross us at some point ahead here. So I-5 is coming right there, and then we're going to land right on the other side of it. I-5 is Interstate 5. Interstate 5, like Highway 101, goes from Canadian border all the way down to Mexican border. 101 was the old road back in the days when your tires didn't have rubber on them. Not quite that long ago, but you get my meaning. And 101 held the coast pretty much. It was a coastal highway. And then they put I-5 that kind of went, inland. But you can see there's our airstrip, I think. And I'm at top of descent. So I'm going to come down here. I'll tell you what, I should probably... let's just drop it. I'm going to drop it to 4,500. Rogue Valley, Medford. So we're here pretty much. I got to get down. So let me come in here and take control. I'm going to set up in my seat so I can see. And let's take it out of autopilot.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm not landing yet. That's my airport down there. It wants me to land. It thinks, oh man, see what I mean about the top of descent? It was way too soon. I mean, I'm not even there yet.
Landing gear.
Yeah, I know. Let me slow down. If I put it on now, it's going to rip right off the plane. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go around and do this properly and come in from the north. I think that's what I'm supposed to do anyway.
Landing gear. Landing
Come on, plane. I almost said, come on, car.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Let me slow down first. Jeez, I'm doing too fast. I'm doing 200 miles an hour.
Landing gear. 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 Landing gear.
Okay, it's down. Are you happy now? Okay, so I'm going to come around. There's White City. I'm going to wait on the flaps till I get around. But I need to bring the speed down. I'm still 170 miles an hour. Or miles, nautical miles. Sorry about that. So let me just swing around here. Yeah, we'll do this the right way. I'll line up with the glide slope and come in from the north. It's actually over to the northwest a little bit. Sutton on the Rogue. The Rogue is the Rogue River. There's a river around these parts called the Rogue River. They do a lot of whitewater rafting on the Rogue River. If you don't like banjo music, you don't want to be on the Rogue River. Thinking of that movie Burt Reynolds was in. Can't remember the name of it. Man, I got to remember that when I'm in live weather that I've got turbulence to deal with, wind and things like that. When
when I'm not in that, I don't have any wind or to speak of, or turbulence, I should say. And I'm thinking that wind causes turbulence, so there is that. Okay, there's our airport over there. Okay, I'm going a little too slow.
Stall.
Yeah, I know.
Stall.
Give me a break. I got it. I got too slow. Okay. Landing gear down. Yeah, landing gear's down.
Stall.
I'm not doing very good. I keep looking around. Looky-looing. All right. Let's get swung around here. My problem is I've got a button to do the landing gear and the flaps, but it doesn't always do what it's supposed to do. I think the flaps are up or down and they're not. So I'm putting the flaps down now, manually, and then we'll catch this glide slope here. I got a plane taking off, heading towards me. Keep it around 100 miles an hour so I can stay in the air. Okay, that plane's off to my left. It's not a problem. There's the lights to the runway to the left. Over that way. Okay, keep a little altitude. Sit up in my seat. Fly by night? What? There's an airport called Fly by Night. Really? Are you serious? Okay, let's get lined up here. I should have went a little bit further out, but I'll be okay. Besides, I haven't had a really good crash in a long time. All right, I'm losing my speed. Let me kick it up a little bit. There's a little bit of wind. I can feel it. I'm being pushed around a little bit. I better come around. I could land on that road there. I better start coming around or I ain't gonna make it. Oh man. This isn't good. This is not good. Come around. We're okay. I've got it clear to the left and it's pushing me off the field. That was a terrible landing. Oh, jeez. Let me slow her down a little bit. That was awful. That was terrible. Oh, jeez. Hey, it's all in fun, right? But look, I'll let go, and it's pushing me. Wait, let me slow down. Let me get up. Take my word for it. It's pushing me
It's pushing me around. When I landed and I headed crossways across there, I had the throttle turn, or the rudder turn clear as hard as I could to the left to try to get back in the center lane. And I'd have been better if I'd have lined up a little bit. Like I said, I should have went further out before I made my turn. And it's I'm looking at the map is what I'm doing, and it's deceiving because it looked like I was a lot further out than I was. All right, let's put the flaps back up. Hey, there's a plane looks like mine over there. Kind of. Actually, it doesn't. It looks like that plane over there. Well, it might be. Yeah, it's a turboprop. Okay, it is like this one, just a different color. Well, that was fun, exciting. It's I've been doing pretty good on the landings, so I don't feel too bad about that one. It could have been better. I was having too much fun. What's the old saying? If you can walk any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. Yeah, that's the same plane as I'm flying. So let's park next to it, I guess. Now, that color scheme, I think I've got that color scheme. Alrighty, brakes on. Here we are. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Yeah, that's the same plane, isn't it? Maybe not. The tail is different. You see, my wings are on the bottom here, and his wings are up on top. What plane is that? Other than that, it looks kind of the same. It's the same plane. It might not be the same model number. Mine's a 930. That one might be a little bit different. But anyway, interesting. Well, let's go in and shut stuff down. Let's sit down in my seat here. And let's start up at the top. Oh, God, I didn't put my landing lights on. But that's okay. Flip some switches. Should have got these first. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Look, twins. You don't see any markings on it, do you? I mean, mine's got markings on the tail and markings on the end of the wings here. That's TBM 930 there, Dan. Huh. Interesting. Well, hey, we're down. We are in Medford, Oregon. There's California over there. Oregon, Washington over there. You got the ocean over here. A whole lot of America that way. You can hear the wind. Can you hear it? It was windy. It was blowing the hell out of me. That didn't sound good, did it? Forget what I just said. Anyway, we're here. Everything's safe. I'm happy. We're almost home. We're at least in our home state. In the next leg, I'm going to fly home. And I'm really seriously thinking I was going to fly to Portland. But I'm seriously thinking about flying to my home. Now, the only thing that I'm not necessarily concerned about is the airport where I live is not very big, but I think it should be big enough for this plane. I think we'll be okay. Anyway, I hope you had fun. I hope to join you, that you join me in the next leg, and we'll be home. And then we got to figure out what we're going to do from there. I'm going to try flying some different planes. I might go back and fly some commercial flights because I don't remember how. It's been a while since I did. And I hope to see you there. In the meantime, have fun.